Classic car windscreen wipers. You want to keep the chrome. You don't want the modern black metal or plastic versions. You want to keep your stainless versions. I wanted to do a little video on how to change the rubbers. It's quite easy, to be fair, and I thought I'd just run through it with you so you can do it yourself. You can pop down to your car parts place, buy some Bosch Super Plus wipers. I've gone for SP15s, even though my wipers are 14s, just in case there wasn't enough rubber. You can easily trim the rubber down, so it's better to have too much than too little. So I'll turn the camera around and you can see what's going on. So this is what I need for the job. The new wiper, and it's got to be the type, you know, that looks like this. You don't want the modern cars have these flat blade, flappy plastic things. You don't want those. You want a normal looking wiper. And I'll tell you what, I'll pop that out the box just so you can see it now. I've only got one hand. There you go. So you don't want that ugly thing on your classic car. But we'll nick the whole of this rubber bit and we'll put it in our stainless version. So I'm going to need my tin snips or something that's good enough to cut the metal and the rubber. A little flat blade screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. So what have I got? I've got this one I've already done. I've just done this one. So we've got the new Bosch rubber in this one. It looks tidy. You've still got your stainless. You can see where I've trimmed it down. Oh, maybe not. A bit blurry. But, you know, that looks spot on. That's ready to go on my little Allegro, that. This is the other one. So this is what that one looked like before with the old filament in here. So I've got an old filament in here that's falling out anyway, to be fair. And this is just a plastic, cheap rubber rubbish. This is another version. This is off of a P6. So it's slightly different. And I'll show you the difference. So, oh god. This is the Allegro one I've got at the moment. So the little clips that hold the rubber in sort of go along the metal. Well, not the metal. It is the metal one. Here we go. So this is the Bosch wiper blade. See that? That clips around here. Whereas the P6 one I've got has got a different design. See, it's a different design to that one. But the actual wiper bit is the same. So we're just taking out this and this, you know, the rubbery bits. Get rid of them. Right. Okay, so this is my other Allegro wiper that I'm just about to put the new filament in. So all I did to get this filament out is stick my flat blade screwdriver. I sort of stuck it in here and just sort of bent it out a bit. You know, sort of just lever it a bit, but don't do it on your lap like I am, because you'll end up stabbing your leg. Do it in a vise or on a bench or something. And then once that's unclipped, this end should be free. And you should be able to just slide it out. But I think on this one, somebody's actually pinched that with the pliers. Pinch the other end with the pliers so it's tight and it wouldn't come out. So, as you saw, I could just force that out. And now this fella, it's annoying. Excuse the large rubber duck in the hallway. That's for my mother. I hope she doesn't see this. I was going to save it for Christmas. So there you go. I'm pulling it out. So that's the old filament out. And look at this. Look. Made in England. What's the Bosch one got on it? Bosch doesn't even tell you where it's made, but we all know where it's made. So there we go, there's the naked wiper. And now I'm going to take the rubber out of the Bosch wiper. So I'm going to do the same. And if you'll see this end, right, the metal part of the wiper is pinched inside this rubber to stop it from moving. But this side isn't pinched. So what we'll do is we'll get our trusty screwdriver and sort of hook that out of there. We don't really care about damaging this black wiper because I'm actually going to throw that in the bin. We just want to get the rubber out. So just get in there with some pliers or a flathead screwdriver and just sort of get that out of there. Once that's free, you then can slide the rubber out like I did. See, I've got the screwdriver in there and I've literally just pulled it away, and then that will come out. Now, this is where I want you to be a little bit careful, because this Bosch wiper blade has two pieces of metal. They can be sharp, so be careful. Two bits of metal either side. As you can see, this one's still pinched in. One day I'll invest in some kind of tripod so I don't have to keep making you feel ill by moving the camera around all the time. Oh, I'm going to have to pause you there. With two hands I force this out, and I've got my two bits of metal in that are seated. And they're seated within that rubber. We want to keep those. So now this end's free. Again, we're just going to slide it out. So now we've got our rubber filament that we want to use on our chrome wiper, complete with the two metal parts. Keep them tucked in that rubber there, try not to let them pop out. And this poor old thing, or poor new thing, I'm just going to put in the bin because it's no use to me at all. Yeah, put it in the bin with the old rubber. So what we want to do now is slide this new rubber filament into the chrome wiper. But what you might find, you obviously want to start sliding it in at the end that you've opened. You know, this is going to be the end that you're going to use to clamp into this end of the rubber. So we won't worry about that, just keep that open, because we'll pinch that at the end to hold the rubber in. So you're going to be sliding this in, and I will try my best to get a good sort of focus on this, so you know what I mean. Oh wow, this is filming at its best, isn't it? Oh. Wedged within my toolbox is the wiper blade. Right, so we're going to go slide in the end that hasn't got the hole in for pinching. So we want this end. We want to slide that end in. It's not going to slide in here because this is all loose really. So start off at this one. So that big sort of channel, that's what you want to slide it in, and then you go along to the next one and the next one, and then finally the end one. Don't worry about pinching the end one yet, we still need to trim off excess rubber. But when you're sliding these in to start with, you'll probably notice that it doesn't stay in there. It's not a tight fit. So this is where the pliers come into hand. So you just pull that out a bit. I need 3 hands. So pull that out a bit and get your pliers and just gently pinch that in. And then you can slide your rubber in. It'll be a nice tight fit then. So there we are. I've slid the new filament in until these holes in the rubber line up with this end, and then I pinch that end in with pliers so that's not going to slide out now. It's trapped in there. And I've made sure that it's, when I've slid it along, I've made sure it's pinched along like this. It took a little bit of adjustments, you know, I had to give them a little squeeze with the pliers just to make sure they got enough grip to stay in there, in that runner. And then I've got to the end and I've used my tin snips to cut the metal bits first, and then I've trimmed the rubber off. I mean, if you get the right size rubber, you probably won't even have to trim it. So the final stage is just to give that end a little pinch. Nothing too serious, just a little pinch. Just to keep that in there nice and firm. And then you're ready to fit it back on the car. And I tell you what, I've got these Bosch filaments in my P6 wipers. And they are very good. I mean, it's the best. I've had the P6 for nearly 10 years, I think. And that is the best set of wipers I've put on the car. I can actually see. So it'd be interesting today to see what they're like on the Allegro. Perhaps I'll cut into a clip of me driving in the rain, because it always bloody rains when I'm out in that. So I'll put these on. I'm going to go for a drive to Longbridge now from Gloucester. And we'll see how they perform. Thanks for watching. There you go, what did I say? Same day of changing the filaments. And it's sunny, but it rained. It's always the same. Right, look at these Bosch wipers, look. Oh, look how clean that screen is. You have never seen a screen so clean. Definitely recommend those wiper rubbers.